Hi, my name is Mani Kailahi. I'm here with Anthony Silvani and Noah Gabriel, and this is Beyond the Sidelines. Dallas Cowboys beat LA Chargers, but headlines were stolen by the officiating.
I thought it was a pretty good game. The Cowboys impressed by. They showed up and they showed out. They showed us that they're not the same team from last year. But I wasn't really impressed by the offense. I think the offense was a bit stagnant, especially after the first quarter, putting up 6 points after that first quarter.
I was saying with the defense, this defense is way different than last year. They're getting turnovers and stuff. Offense did pretty decent and stuff, but the defense kept them in the game, and that's how they won, their defense, and a great field goal by Zerline.
I was really impressed by Micah Parsons. I think him playing off the edge makes a huge difference. They drafted him to play the linebacker spot because they needed it, but in the absence of Marcus Lawrence, he stepped up huge, and I think he's a really good player off the edge.
Really good player to replace Sean Lee after Sean Lee retires, so he's really been doing good his rookie year so far.
Ravens beat Chiefs 36-35 on Sunday Night Football, ending Patrick Mahomes' 11-0 record in September.
This was game of the week, probably going to be game of the season. I thought it was really entertaining, really fun to watch Lamar Jackson be Lamar Jackson. And again, just put the Ravens on his back like he normally does. Yes, he made some mistakes, but overall, his decision making and his play is what won them the game. And I think the Ravens are really going to contend this year.
Probably because early in the game, the Chiefs were dominating this whole game, and then the Ravens came back, put more points on the board, and ended up winning the game. Looks like the Ravens are going to do really good this year and stuff. So
I don't think they'll win the North. I think it's still Cleveland's division.
yeah, I think they'll make it to wild card, but
I can see that.
Alabama overcomes late Florida comeback to win 31-29 and stay the number one ranked team in the country.
I wasn't all impressed by Alabama this past week. Yes, they won the game, but they were up 21-0 early. Bryce Young looked impressive, but other than that, I wasn't impressed. I don't think they're going to be all that. I think they're going to make the playoffs as number one, but when it comes down to the big time, games where it's whether you crack under pressure or not, I think they're going to crack. I don't think they're going to win the national championship this year. They didn't look good at all.
sad because this team, Alabama, this is like, they should have lost that game, to be honest, in my opinion, because Florida was really like giving them a fight and stuff, and that concerns them because that's the second time like they had a close fight with Florida, because they played them last year in the SEC championship and they gave them a fight, lost by a touchdown and stuff. They almost lost it, but they barely won it. But this is kind of concerning for the team because they should be dominating like every year. Alabama's known for every year dominating the SEC and stuff. That's a little bit concerning for Coach Saban and the team, so he might have to get his team fixing up and stuff so they can make it to the conference championship and make the playoffs. But Florida looks really good again this year, even after they've lost their players like Kyle Trask, Pitts, Kadarius Toney, and that offense that all went to the NFL with the new players they got in. They've been doing really good, and they could make it to the conference championship, but the only team they're going to have a problem this year is Georgia. So they'll have to play Georgia in a few weeks, and we'll see. One of those teams, it could be Florida and Georgia to play in the SEC championship and might be playing against Alabama.
Yeah, I think Alabama will definitely make it to the SEC championship. They'll win the SEC. We know this. I think they'll make it to the playoffs, but I'm just not impressed. I don't think they'll be making it to the national championship.
Yeah.
MLB playoff push has started with under 10 games left for most of the teams.
I think it's going to be really exciting to watch the last couple of games of the season with teams like the Padres, who are still 3 games out, even though they were favored to kind of win the World Series. It'll be interesting to see if they can make it. We have the Giants, who really surprised a lot of teams this year, surprised a lot of people. They're number 1 in their division with the Dodgers and the Padres, who were the 2 favorites. I'm really excited to watch the last couple games of this season.
These are going to be the most competitive last 10 games of the regular season because a lot of teams are trying to fight to make the postseason in October. So we're going to see a lot of exciting baseball, more competitive, because they need to get these wins so they can make it to the playoffs and make it to October for postseason.
Now moving on to the argumentative topics. Noah, who do you think will win the World Series?
This is a tough one. This is very tough. I think maybe the Dodgers could do good. The Dodgers have a chance of they have to defend their title, but the problem is they gotta play some really tough teams. But I think the Dodgers can still pull it off. They do really good in the postseason almost every season these past few years, and they made the playoffs, made the World Series. But I think the Dodgers will do pretty good, so I got the Dodgers.
Yeah, I really like the Dodgers, but I think it's hard to look past any team other than San Francisco Giants. I really like what they've been doing this season. Again, they surprise a lot of teams. They're winning games when they need to. They're winning the games they need to. And they even go out and they can beat the Padres. They can beat the Braves. I think the Giants should be the favorites to win heading into postseason. I think they're going to win the World Series.
All right, next question is for Anthony. Who's going to win the NFL MVP?
Clear answer is Patrick Mahomes, but I'm going to say Josh Allen. I think he started off the season a bit slow, but he's done the last couple seasons, and I think he's going to pick up towards, they got a game this week. I'm not sure who it's against, but I think they'll win it. I think he's going to show out, and I think he's going to challenge the Chiefs, and now the number one seed's really up for grabs with Kansas City losing Sunday. I think Josh Allen has the arm. He's got the talent. He's got the talent around him to win it. I think he's going to go and win it, the MVP.
I think Josh Allen too. It's going to be a close battle between these three quarterbacks. I think they're putting pretty good stats. Josh Allen, you said. Patrick Mahomes puts good stats in the last game, threw some touchdown stuff, and probably Lamar Jackson. He keeps playing in that form. It could be probably between those three quarterbacks to win the MVP.
Next question. Is Alabama a lock to win the national championship? Let's start off with Noah.
With the game they had against Florida, they still are. They need to fix some stuff. They'll probably do the same. I think they'll make it to the playoffs, but I don't feel like they'll win the national championship this year. I know they'll win their they'll win their conference probably and their nat to make the playoffs, but I don't know. I don't feel like they can win the natty this year.
Yeah, no, I don't think they are. I think they'll make it to the national championship game, but I really don't see them winning. I see teams maybe like Oregon or Oklahoma. I think they're going to challenge. I think Oklahoma has really potential to win this one. Yeah, they didn't look great against, I forgot, Nebraska this past weekend, but it's Oklahoma. I think Lincoln Riley will win this. They'll win the Big 12 easily, and I think they're going to win the national championship.
I'm definitely saying I'm really excited to see another. We haven't seen a Pac-12 team in the playoffs since Washington. It's good to see Oregon. I think Oregon's got to keep it going. They upset Ohio State early in the season. They're doing really good. They got to keep that momentum going. So I could see Oregon making the playoffs, or definitely we'll see Oklahoma. But yeah, I could see one of those two teams making the playoffs and maybe making the natty.
Anthony, who's going to win the Heisman Trophy?
There are a lot of contenders. I think Spencer Rattler is currently the favorite, but I'm going to go for Bryce Young. I know I've been, kind of hating on Alabama today, but I really like Bryce Young. I think he's the best quarterback in college football right now. He didn't look that great against Florida, but his first two games, yes, they were against Mercer, but the first one against Miami, he really showed out. I think Bryce Young is a great quarterback, and I think he's going to win the Heisman, not with ease. Over the last 2 years, we've seen the Heisman winner win it with ease, but this year I think it'll be Bryce Young, a bit over Spencer Rattler.
Probably Bryce Young too. He's had some pretty good stats these past games. He keeps it up. Yeah, I can definitely see him as the nominee. Spencer Rattler and the Oregon running back C.J. Verdell. He's putting up some pretty good stats as a running back. He really played good a few weeks ago against Ohio State. Scored a lot of touchdowns. If Verdell can get on a groove, he can be one of the Heisman candidates. I have those three as the candidates, but I probably have to say it'll be between Bryce Young or Spencer Rattler to win the Heisman Trophy.
Moving on to X Factors. First up, we have the Panthers and Texans.
I'll probably have to go with the Panthers. I think Christian McCaffrey will have a really good game. The Texans, they just lost Tyrod Taylor with an injury. They got this quarterback. He has nothing. He has not prepared for this and stuff. So I got the Panthers winning this.
I do have the Panthers winning it, but I think the X factor has to be Davis Mills. He's getting his first start as the quarterback, and we've seen kind of success with quarterbacks taking over from Tyrod Taylor. We saw Baker Mayfield and Justin Herbert all have, they've had really good careers up to this point. I think Davis Mills kind of has to go out there and show against a good Carolina defense that he can be the starter with Tyrod out. And I don't really know who their backup is, but Davis Mills has to be the X factor, and I had that. But I had the Panthers winning it.
Next, we have the 49ers and Packers.
My X factor for this game has to be the Packers' offensive line. If they can keep that very good 49ers front seven from getting to Aaron Rodgers, I think they have a chance to win in this game. I think they're still without Bakhtiari. I'm not sure, but I think they have to step up and block Nick Bosa, D Ford off the edge. And I'm gonna go with the Packers in an upset here.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Packers. If their O-line does their job, keeping Aaron Rodgers safe in the pocket, Aaron Rodgers will give Aaron Rodgers enough time to throw to anybody. He can throw it to his number one receiver, Davante Adams. Watch him have a pretty good game. He'll be running over and getting open and making the San Francisco's defense look bad. I got the Packers winning this one.
Next, we have the Cowboys and the Eagles.
I probably got the Cowboys being the Eagles because the Cowboys' defense is really good this year. They're not that defense from last year. They're actually getting turnovers this year. In these past 2 games, they've already had 6 turnovers in total. 4 against Tampa Bay, against the Super Bowl defending champions, Buccaneers, where they put a close fight, and they just showed it again playing against the Chargers, playing against Justin Herbert, who was Rookie of the Year last year, got 2 turnovers and 2 picks. Their defense is really going to be good. And I feel like Jalen Hurts and that Eagles offense will struggle, and I think Trayvon Diggs will definitely cover Devontae Smith and lock him up. He did pretty good last week. He got an interception. I think the Cowboys defense will do their job, and the Cowboys will win it. And Dak and the offense got to bounce back and do better this week. So I got the Cowboys.
My X factor has to be Jalen Reagor. I think he's the Eagles' second wide receiver, and they're going to put Trayvon Diggs on Devontae Smith, so he has to be able to get open, make plays for Jalen Hurts. He's also their return man, so if he can get them in a great field position, I think they have a good shot. And I'm actually going to go with the Eagles here. I really like their defense. Their defense has been so good this season. Yes, they held Atlanta to 6 points, but they held them San Francisco to 17, who put up 41 the week before. I really like Philly's defense, so I'm going to go with the Eagles in an upset.
Moving on to game picks. First up, we have the Cardinals versus the Jags.
I got Cardinals. I think Cardinals will do their thing. Kyler Murray's been doing his thing lately too, so he's doing good. I just don't feel like the Jags are not doing well. Right now, Trevor Lawrence is not doing well this season. His rookie year, he's throwing picks. The Jags are not doing really good. Wise on offense, with that. I got the Cardinals winning this.
Yeah, I also have the Cardinals winning it, but I think it's going to be very close. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a bounce-back game, and he's going to put up good numbers. But I think Kyler Murray is going to keep up his MVP form, and I think the Cardinals are going to win this one in a shootout game.
Next, we have the Falcons versus the Giants.
I'm going to go with the Giants. I think they've looked far better than the Falcons had the past 2 weeks. The Falcons' defense is non-existent. Their offense, kind of showed up a bit against Tampa Bay. But I really don't think that. I think Saquon's going to have a very good game, a very good bounce-back game. So I got the Giants.
Yeah, I can definitely see the Giants winning. They've done pretty well these last few weeks. The Falcons have been struggling and stuff like that. I think, Saquon Barkley's going to do his thing and run the ball right and stuff. So I got the Giants winning that.
Next up, we have the Ravens versus the Lions.
I probably have to say the Ravens will beat the Lions, but it'll be a close game because the Lions are doing pretty good. They've been playing close games too with Jared Goff as a quarterback. They've been doing pretty good, the Lions and it's going to be a close game, but I say that Lamar and the Ravens will win it out close game.
I really want to say the Lions here. I really do. I really like Jared Goff. I think he's a good quarterback who is not given much time under Sean McVay. Yes, he made it to a Super Bowl, but they kind of gave up after that. But I'm going to have to say the Ravens. I think they're going to pull away late. I think Lamar Jackson is going to be Lamar Jackson and throw more touchdowns than he had the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to go with the Ravens.
And then we'll move on to the Browns and the Bears.
This is really, so this week will be like Justin Fields' debut, right? His first start since Andy Dalton's out with a knee injury. I'm going to have to go with the Browns. Browns doing pretty. I think the Browns will win this game and stuff. So I got the Browns winning this one.
This one's a tough one because I really like Justin Fields. I really like what I saw from him in preseason. Didn't like what I saw from him against Cincinnati though. Through that interception right at the linebacker. But I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns as well. I think Myles Garrett's going to have a field day against that offensive line, and I think Baker Mayfield is, even without Trevor Sanders and Odell Beckham, I think Baker Mayfield's going to have a good game.
Yeah, I think Myles Garrett's really gonna try to get the Fields. He's gonna get through that O-line and get the field. So yeah, the Browns.
Bengals versus Steelers.
I'm going to go with the Bengals here. I really like the Bengals offense. I think they've looked much better than they have last year. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, they're an electric duo. I really like T. Higgins as their second receiver, and I don't trust Pittsburgh's offense as much as their defense. I don't think they're going to put up points. So I got the Bengals.
I got Bengals too. Yeah, really, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase really have that connection. They've always had that connection since LSU days. In their LSU days, they're really doing good as they in union. They're back together as teammates in the NFL. Yeah, they got a good offense with him, with Burrow, and then he's got two good targets of Chase and T. Higgins. So I got definitely the Bengals, and the Steelers' defense won't be good because they lost their best linebacker or D lineman, T.J. Watt. So I think I got the Bengals winning this one.
Next, we have the Colts versus the Titans.
Tennessee. I think it'll be a very close game, but I think the Colts offense without Carson Wentz is not going to be that good, and I think Derrick Henry and Julio Jones are going to have a good game, so I got the Titans big.
Same with the Titans. Derrick Henry's gonna do his thing. He'll run over their Colts defense. The Colts offense is not gonna be that great because Carson Wentz is out with an ankle injury. So I feel like I think my X factors will be definitely Derrick Henry dominating the run game and Julio Jones dominating receiving wise, and I think the Titans will win this game.
Next, we have the Chargers versus the Chiefs.
I think it's going to be very close. I think it's going to go in overtime like it did last year. But I have the Chiefs winning. I think they're much more explosive than the Chargers. So I have the Chiefs winning a very, very close game.
I'll definitely say it'll definitely be a close game, but I think, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs will pull off the win. They're trying to get a bounce-back win. This is their game that they can get that bounce-back win and get back to winning and bounce back from that loss last week to the Ravens. And I think the Chiefs will win in a close game, and the Chiefs will get the win and bounce back from last week.
Next up, we have the Saints versus the Patriots.
It can go either. I feel like it could go either way. It's going to be a close one. It can go either way, but I think I'll go with the Saints on this one.
I'm going to go with the Patriots. I like Mac Jones. I didn't like him much at the end of the season, but he's really he's proven me wrong in the first 2 weeks. I think, he had a very good performance against the New York Jets. I think he's connecting with his receivers downfield well, and I think they're going to win this game against the Saints, who didn't look good at all against Carolina.
We have the Washington football team versus the Bills.
I got the Bills. Josh Allen's in really great form. He's doing his thing. He's one of the MVP candidates, as we say. I think they'll beat Washington.
Yeah, I got Buffalo as well. I think it'll be closer than people think. People think Buffalo's going to run away with it. Washington's defense will keep them in the game, and I really like Taylor Heineke, but I think the Bills are just better talent-wise, so I think they're going to win this one, a close one.
Dolphins versus Raiders.
I'm going to go with the Raiders here. As much as I want to say the Dolphins, because I believe in Jacoby Brissett, I think he can be a good starter. I don't know yet, and their defense kind of concerns me. They're not as good as they were last year. Their offense didn't move the ball against Buffalo, and I think the Raiders, they're off to a hot start. They upset the Ravens and the Steelers. I think Derek Carr's going to have a field day, and I think they're going to win this one.
Yeah, I can see the Raiders winning it. They've been really, really good these past 2 games. Derek Carr in that offense with him and Darren Waller and all the Henry Ruggs and Josh Jacobs. Is he on the Raiders? Henry Ruggs? No, he's not. Wait, is he? Yeah, he's on the Raiders. Okay. And I can see them doing pretty good again. The Dolphins, they lost their major loss quarterback. They lost Tua with a rib injury. We'll see how Jacoby Brissett has to play. Their defense is iffy, so I got the Raiders winning this one.
Jets versus Broncos.
I'm going to go with the Broncos here. I think their defense is going to overwhelm Zach Wilson. I think Teddy Bridgewater has looked really good, and I think Javonte Williams is going to have a standout performance. So I got the Broncos big.
Yeah, I got the Broncos winning this one. They were probably better than the Jets. Zach Wilson has had a horrible past 2 game start to his rookie year. He's been throwing interceptions. He's not finding his receivers wide open. He's not visioning the field and stuff. That's why he's been throwing interceptions, just poor vision around the field and trying to find his open receivers. So I got the Broncos winning this one.
Next, we have Seattle and Minnesota.
I got Seattle. They need to bounce back. I think Russell Wilson, this offense, are going to try to get. They have a chip on their shoulder. They lost last week to a close game against Tennessee. They need a bounce back win. So I got definitely Seattle winning this one.
I'm going to go with Minnesota. I really like their offense. Their defense and special teams is what really concerns me. I think their offense can put up points. And I think, they're up. They had emotional losses the first 2 weeks, losing heartbreaking games in just Vikings fashion, but I think they're going to bounce back. I think Kirk Cousins is going to have a really good game against the Seahawks defense, which looked horrible against Tennessee.
And last we have the Bucs versus the Rams.
Buccaneers are definitely going to win it. They're pretty doing well right now. They're 2-0 right now. First game was a tough one, but the last game they bounced and then they ended up winning it away with against Falcons. I definitely see the Bucs becoming 3-0 and Tom Brady and that Buccaneers offense doing their thing. So I got the Buccaneers winning this one.
I got the Rams. I really like Matt Stafford. Obviously, I've liked him since Detroit, and he fits well into this Rams offense.
So you think you're calling an upset?
I am. I think the Rams defense is going to hold Tom Brady. I think the Rams are going to win this one in a very close game.
All right.
And that's it for this week's Beyond the Sidelines. Tune in next week.